on, everybody, and welcome back to another Rosh Reviews, where today we are in a WH Grange, and these things are incredibly rare, and this particular one has got a TR6060 manual swap. Yeah, no, it's a one of a kind, and we've still got that 5.7 liter LS1 up front. This thing is rear wheel drive. It had an LSD from factory, 255 kilowatts, 475 Newton meters. To see a TR6060 in this thing now, yeah, this is cool. Now, the Grange was the top of the tree in terms of HSV, Holden, whatever you want to call them, because, yeah, this was the cream of the crop. This was the most luxury, had the most, performance, and, these things were really special because brand new, this was probably the most expensive Aussie car you could buy in 2001, at starting from $84,000. Yeah, back in 2001, that is a huge amount of cash. And, look, on the used market today, just trying to find one of these things is incredibly hard. And they're not really known for enthusiasts buying these things because they did all come with the 4-speed automatic. And to make one like this, it's not easy, and the owner can contest to that. Generally, they're going to sit around that $20,000 to $30,000 range, and it's all because these things are kind of just like a collector's car now. And if you can find one that's got decently low Ks and good condition, they fetch a reasonable amount of money. Yeah, this is quite the creation. Hey, and it drives pretty damn well. I gotta say, you gotta get used to the pedals and the way it shifts a little bit here, but it goes well. It really does. And the TR6060, it is just a far superior box over the T56. And, it feels pretty tight. Short throws. It's easy to know where you are in gear. Yeah, this is really cool. Now, inside these things, look, we're talking a car that is over 20 years old now. So the luxury has kind of faded away here because, back in 20 years ago, the luxury was like an analog clock and some leather. That was it. This thing does have really comfy seats. Look, it's starting to show some wear now, but again, it's over 20 years old. Did have Grange embossed into the leather, which was a nice touch. You did have this kind of faux wood grain around the place, which was cool. And just the gauges, it's unique. It's something that you don't really see in typical Holdens that are on the road because there's just not many of these things left today. Now, according to HSV database and stuff, this does have a build number. It's a Grange. It's a special car. This is build 446, and I believe there was only 554 ever made, and it was something like 6 of them, weirdly enough, that were the supercharged 6. When you go to the Series 2, so there was a Series 2 right after this, there was I think another 150 made. That's it. And man, they're a really rare car to see on the road. Now, the wheels on this car, they're 20-inch walkies, and, I ain't gonna lie, it makes this thing look pretty damn tough. It really does. It just brings it to a lower, more aggressive stance. Originally, this thing would have had 18s, and they would have been 10-spoke. They do look pretty nice as well, but yeah, these things can look pretty damn tough when they're done well. Yeah, the old LS1, mate, she still got it. And in this TR6060, yeah, it's magic. And, the owner, he is restoring this thing slowly. So, this is why we're showing it off how it is at the moment, because I'm only in Melbourne for a short time. And, you got to have a look at this thing because, yeah, I really would be so excited to see this thing when it's finished because yeah, this gearbox in this car, it's not going to take much to make this thing an absolute animal. And you know, look at this thing driving down the road. I actually think this is a pretty good looking car, and you know, the age is really, it's starting to age well, because you know, it's very rounded, and you know, for a long time this thing probably wasn't very attractive, but now you just don't see these things, and you know, history always repeats. And I think this thing is looking pretty good, especially when you get a good set of wheels on this thing. You stance it like a cam, a good exhaust, mate. This thing is absolutely fire. You know, and look on handling, this is the long wheelbase, and you know, you got plenty of room in the back. It's very kind of, yeah, it's Doughy steering. You know, it does firm up, surprisingly enough. It actually does get quite weighty when you really turn the wheel, but it takes a while to move this thing, and you know, it's not very planted in the corners, because this is a Grange. You know, it's the Luxo barge, so it's supposed to be very comfortable, and it is comfortable. And the fact that now it's got the TR6060 in it, and you can still have this kind of fun and engagement, it's beautiful. Oh yeah. Yeah, I could really just see this thing cruising to like a kebab meat in Melbourne. You put a sunroof in this thing, bags in the rear, like cam, exhaust. You don't got to do much more than that now, and man, this thing would be turning some bloody heads, I tell you what. I would love to have one of these things. I really would. Just, you know, and this is exactly how the Grange should have come out from factory. You know, we're talking the 6-speed manual here, and it just feels right. That's the only way to put it. It just feels right. You know, it just feels not well in the 4-speed. Like, it never feels great. You can put rip shifts in them and quick shifts, whatever, but it's still not the same. And this thing right here, it's money. Now, 0 to 100, guys, we're just pulling up on this back road here. These Granges, originally with the 4-speed, I think they were claimed somewhere like 6.3 seconds. This is just like a stock LS1 6-speed manual. We'll see how we go. So we're going to reset the draggy. And here we go. Go, go, go. Fog a little bit. Traction light. Oh, baby. Man, she gets up and goes. She really does. You know, it definitely would help with a cam and a tune in this thing, but man, it's still sweet. Let's see what that time was. Now, 0 to 100, guys, was done in 7.5 seconds, and look, I think that's a pretty good realistic time for a back road here. It is just a stock car. You know, we're closing in on 200,000 Ks on this car, and you know, I don't want to break it. So, you know, I'm going a bit easy. We did bog a little bit at the beginning, but man, we still took it to red line, and this thing, she loved it. Yep, that doesn't get old, and man, this thing is just beautiful. Like, so much potential in this car is just ridiculous. The fact that, you know, the Grange alone is so rare, and the fact that it does have the TR6060 in here now, and it feels so damn good in this Grange. Yeah, this thing is just oozing with potential for like big power, like show car, like just, if you got enough money, man, oh, this thing is epic. Now, this is something pretty crazy here. I was just having a look at the cup holders here. There's this, you know, cup holder looking thing. It's got the badge on it. I lifted it up, and there ain't no cup holders in this thing. It's got a little toolkit in here, and This is absolutely crazy. Like, I had no idea. These things apparently from factory came with these toolkits and didn't come with cup holders. Like, what? You got a flashlight, you got a pocket knife, a tire pressure gauge, and a cap remover. I had no idea. And yeah, to have a look at them in there, that is pretty damn crazy. Now I'm gonna finish the video off here today, guys. So a huge, huge thank you to the owner for allowing me to review his TR6060 swapped Grange, because I'm pretty confident in saying this has got to be like a one of one here in Australia, and yeah, it's just magic in this configuration. So I really enjoyed this car. I hope you guys did as well. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here. We'll see you on that next video.